Good morning, good afternoon. This is the Experts About Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Wesley, and we are back. We made it through another week. I hope everybody's being safe and everybody's been doing well. Byron?
Hey, what's going on, big dogs? Byron, man, how y'all doing?
What's good, Durante? Mr. I am him. Mister, I'm just here today. I'm just here today.
We have a special guest this week. We have Jamey from Hello Black Man.
What's going on, guys? Man, glad to be a part of the podcast today, baby.
Appreciate you joining us on this good Sunday. Well, I don't know if y'all heard, but I'm pretty sure everybody's heard. We lost DMX not too long ago, and this week, unfortunately, yesterday we lost Black Rob. For those of y'all that don't know Black Rob, you know his song "Whoa," if nothing else.
Oh yeah.
So we lost my man. He was dealing with some ailments. He had he was dealing with some stuff with his kidneys, and he said he'd been battling illness for like the past 5 years with several seizures and things, being homeless. So unfortunately, my man, he got called home. Got called home yesterday, man. And we was kind of discussing it right before the show, but it seemed like with the homelessness, he really didn't have a lot of money in his pockets, man. And
yeah,
Byron, man, what you think about that?
I think it's this, man. It's sad. It's sad, really, man. It's really sad, man. I mean, a lot of people just can't see how you can go from being on Bad Boy to being that far down, man. It's just something. As money management, man, I just think it's in our community the worst. I'm sorry. I think there's a stat saying the black dollar, goes around 6 hours till it's out of the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody else dollar stays in within a day or so. But
days or weeks. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So I just think it's money management.
Well, I mean, you always say it, Byron, man. You can spend your whole check at the corner store, man.
Exactly. I've seen it happen.
And you drop it at the corner store. I mean, it's not gonna stay in the community once you drop it at the corner store.
It's over. It's gone. It's gone at that point.
Yeah, because we don't even own the store. That's the craziest thing.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. But Jamey, man, what are your thoughts on it?
Man, it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around, but you see it more often than not. But it's still when you have a like I said, public figure like that, and you're able to notice them and see them, and we knew his music and stuff like that. And when it's publicly put out there where he is in life right now, it's kind of hard to connect. It's hard for you to like, he homeless? Like that guy's homeless?
Exactly.
It's like he's homeless. Like what do you mean? So it's almost, as much as you focus on his health conditions, his finance part kind of sticks out at you like what happened? Like, in 2021, 2020, with all the avenues and, ways to make money and stuff like that, you would just hope that either somebody in his past would reach out to him and say, hey, let me pull you up. Let me put you on a podcast, give you some sponsors and stuff like that. It's so many ways to generate, some type of wealth, and to hear his condition financially and of course, physically, it's tough. It's tough.
It's very tough, man. It's the wildest thing, man. Because I mean, you just would think that somebody would have pulled him out or looked out for him or done something. Puff would have been like, "Hey, man, I hear you doing rough out here. Let me help you out or something." And maybe he did, and maybe we don't know that, but it just don't seem like it. I mean, so it was DJ Self that was on the scene that was reporting, the videos that we saw and things of that nature. But and the way Self made it seem like he was out here trying to get him help, but nobody was responding, so that's tough. But Durante, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
Same thing, picking back off Byron. It's like money management. Like, for instance, it's probably not the same, but the person that comes to mind, Delonte West. I mean, he was strung out differently, but where's the people that to help Black Rob out? You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron reached out to Delonte, helped him out. Some of the other old teammates reached out to help him out, and it comes down to how is this person in this predicament? But it's life. You know what I'm saying? Sad to say.
You know, the
Even
crazy thing with
superstars can drop. My bad. I say even superstars can have, because we behind closed doors, and it's always said, these big names, you don't know what they're going through in life. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really don't. It could show that they got this much money, but at the same time, they could be really struggling. You know. But
yeah, you know, the shout out Mark Cuban, because you know the thing about that is, you know, obviously Mark Cuban was the person writing his check, and he went out and got Delonte West. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's a positive. That's a positive story right now, anyway, because you know
Mm.
they've gone out, they went out and got him in rehab, got him help, but you know, unfortunately, Rob didn't get that, and that's what's unfortunate, man. And I mean, you think about it, he could have got help from within the community, from Diddy himself.
Yep.
And he didn't, but yet Mark Cuban, you know, he went out and found Delonte, picked him up, took him to get the help he needed, and so far right now, he's doing good. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of sort of where I want to bring Jamey in, and you know, with what he has going on, because he talks about actually helping with, you know, communication,
yeah,
and things of that nature. And I'll let Jamey explain Hello Black Man and how that goes and all of that. Jamey?
Okay. So what I have is I have a tool, and so I got to tell people, if you use a tool, it can be useful. If you take a hammer and nails and you put it on a shelf and you don't want to build anything, it's not going to help you anyway. So unless you get it and use it, I tell people all the time that, you know, they talk about purchasing the journal. I don't want you to get it from me. And people say, you know, I'm gonna support you. I just want to buy a journal. I want it to help you. Like, I really want you to sit down and write some things down, and for it to be a release point for you. So what I have is, I have a series of journals. There are 9 unique journals I have right now. And it kind of started from a need. I have a I have a young son, teenage son, 14 years old, and he had stayed with his mom, come to stay with me, and our communication was very different. I'm 42 years old, and our communication was very different. I'm pretty direct. My mom direct, my dad direct, and he was looking for a lot more coaching, a lot more nurturing, a lot more, I guess, just a softer touch when speaking. And so I started trying to figure out a way to communicate better with him. And I said, well, maybe I can write some things down, allow him to write some things down. That way I know for sure he's not intimidated, or I'm not cutting him off when he's speaking. Because that happens a lot. You talking to your kids, or why you ain't clean the room. When your kid open their mouth, you know better than this. There is no, you know, back and forth. It's just all you. You just all aggression a lot of the time. You know, when you're speaking to your significant other, your parents, a lot of times it's a one-sided conversation no matter what you're talking about. You know, the person that has the best, you know, way to talk, or the best language, they usually gonna win the argument. It's based on morale. And so I said, well, let me write down some things. I want him to know about me, some things I know he hadn't asked me about my past, about some things I want to do in my future. And so what was so crazy is I started writing out all these questions about like, you know, maybe from finances, or maybe about love, what I thought about romance, what I thought about business. This is nothing that your teenage son is going to come and ask you. He's not. Dad, you know, what's your biggest motivation? You want him to, but he's not. And my son is worried about Fortnite. He worries about Roblox. He worries about Fortnite skins. That's what he worried about. That's his life. And so I'm writing these things out. I get about 30, 40 questions in, and I realize I know nothing. I know none of these answers about my own dad. Like, none of them. Like, I've never asked my dad these things. And so I'm like, wait a minute. I said, man, I might have something here. And so, like, kept writing questions down. And so I said, well, if I can get all the questions down and then continue to write some things, give people open space to write what they want to write. And then, because it's for Black guys, especially my community, if no one asks you a direct question, you're not going to just really open up. you know, you gotta keep coming at it like what's up, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm gonna give like D came in, you know, you automatically notice, you know, he was on a different wavelength today, and you had to ask him what is wrong. He didn't come in and say, man, let me tell you what happened. He did. Like, this is a perfect example. He didn't
Got
say, hey,
pulled
this
up out
is
of him.
going on. This was going on with me. He didn't tell you that. You asked about 3 or 4 times that, hey, nah, you ain't quite yourself today. Like, what's up? And so, you know, the great thing is he did, you know, explain, but it's one of those things where we don't do it enough. We don't check on our homies. We don't check on our dad. Our dads don't check on us. We don't check on our kids. You know, whatever it is, what you tell a black man, it'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm good.
I'm good. That's not help. That's
Not
you
at
just
all.
shutting the door. You just shutting the door for communication all the way. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Like, okay, so I'm walking back into the same problem tomorrow. That's not an answer. And so this is all about bridging communication gaps. So we have hello black man, hello black woman, hello black teen, hello black child, hello black entrepreneur, hello black couple, and then we have hello black first responder. We just finished our last journal is hello black educator. And so every journal is directly to the audience that the title is for. Like, you know, it's we digging into their careers, digging into their psyche, why they chose these certain paths. So it's the whole thing is about opportunity.
And that's the important part, because you know we discussed this on this show before, the need for communication, specifically within our community. Like, it just don't happen, and it just don't, like, especially if you have like older parents. Oh man, you know, this you just gonna do this, go do it and get moving and blah 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 blah. And same thing with some Southern parents too. You ain't really got to be an older person.
I got
really
both. Mine older and Southern.
So it can definitely be a setup where communication don't happen.
Yes.
Oh man.
But you know, and so I think that is a really good tool to help people write down, you know, what they have going on, and then, you know, then you can share it, and then then we can actually sit down and have a conversation about it.
Right.
I think that's the important piece, and that's dope. And you know, when we were talking about this, when did we talk about this? It was like probably like 6-7 months ago we talked about this on the show.
Yeah,
maybe even longer than that, because it may have been one of our early episodes. But communication is needed, man, because you never know what somebody has going on. Like, you can have a situation with like a Black Rob, and he could just be handling it on his own and not telling anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because he don't want to look like he out there with his hand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that fear of, you know, you not wanting to look like you need a handout. Sometimes you might need somebody to look out for you. You know what I mean?
It may be exactly what you need. You may need somebody to help, you know, check on your mental on a consistent basis. You know, it's like one of these, like, this is one of my pages in my journal here. And so, like, for me, like, I have teenage kids, you know, 17-year-old daughter, 14-year-old, got bonus kids. So now the things I want them to know about me, we can have the conversation. But first, I need to know the answer. And a lot of it just up here. Well, I got everything up here. Well, it ain't doing everybody no good. It ain't doing my kids no good. You know, it's not doing my significant other any good. If I'm just, it's up here. And who is it helping? Like, you know, is it helping anybody?
no one.
So one of these questions in the journal, it says, hello, black man, what or who motivates you? Describe how it feels to be motivated. So your son, your significant other may never ask you about motivation, but they need to know what motivates you. They need to know what's going to wake you up an hour early, have you come home 2 hours late, working on this project or that other. So now they know how to encourage you, you know, and so now your kids know. And so now once you figure out what encourages you, did it translate to your kids, or do they need to be encouraged in a different way? And so all that ties into, you know, really, really wanting to be a better communicator.
You know what's really important about that question right there? is because they won't ask you, but yet they'll get it from Instagram, they'll get it from TV, from somebody else's motivation. And that'll be the wrong motivation that they'll actually get.
Yep.
Like, so that's why I think that question right there is really important. Like, if you ask me that right now, I could tell you exactly what it is. I had to sit down and think about it.
It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. And I'm gonna tell you one other thing we did for each of the journals. If the question was, if you could start writing without thought, we deleted the question. We simply took it out. Every question is intriguing. Like, dang. Like, give me an easy question. You be like, no, this ain't no easy question. Just random questions. So, but during the show, I get out, each of you to give me a number, and I'm gonna answer, ask you a question in a journal, and I guarantee you, it's some pause have to happen, because first you have to figure out if you want to be transparent or not. Like, you got to figure that out. So that's the first thing. Like, do you really want to be open and transparent, even in your own personal journal? Because people will say, well, I'm just gonna write the good stuff down. So what good is that doing? Is that really helping you? So it's one of those things where it's just a tool, and you got to use it as such.
Yeah, that's a big fact. And I'll tell you something else. But before I do that, Byron, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, that's tough, right?
Especially with you having 2 daughters, man.
Yeah, man, I like that idea, man. I think I'm pretty transparent with my kids, though. I'm pretty, they got the right way to say, say their thoughts and tell me how they feeling. So all of them got that mindset. But I mean, I still have to pull things up out of them. I mean, they could be sad, and I still have to pull it up out of them. And I never thought about, and they never asked me like things I'm motivated about. And I think that's like, and now that it's someone he just said, like, his dad doesn't, he didn't know what, his dad, those questions and stuff like that. And my dad, same thing. And I'm like, wow, I'm just sitting there stuck, like, oh man, like I never really looked at it like that. I'm just stuck.
Oh, go ahead, Byron. My bad.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, the same thing can be said about mothers too. You know what I'm saying? They gonna shield everything. Like, they gonna shield their babies from this, that, and the other. Keep it and blah 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 blah. See, the black man, they just don't communicate. But in a lot of cases, the black woman, they want to shield. They want to keep their babies from everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I was closed.
Huh?
I grew up with a single mom. I was closed. Like,
I didn't see the world. Explain, Durante. Come on.
I was closed. Like, I didn't get to see the world like as a kid, because she shielded me from everything. She didn't let me go out and stay out. Like, like my friends on the street would stay out till like 10 o'clock at night, riding bikes and doing whatever. I come in at 6, 7 because she didn't want me out there with them, because
with them hoodlums.
Afraid of the world, in quotations. Like, they won't do enough of, maybe riding a bike, shooting around, being kids, at that time. This day and age, don't nobody go outside no more. But anyway.
Now, Durante, now it needs to be explained. you did live in the country now,
we ain't gonna talk about that. Well, you're not gonna sit here and do me like this, Inspector Grooms. Now,
hey,
I would have told you. I said I'm trying to be quiet, trying to be good today. But no, like a lot of like, how can I explain that? Like I think I told y'all that I didn't really listen to rap until up until maybe 16, 17.
Yep.
Because she didn't let me do that stuff. She was like, "That's not good for you. And it's understandable. It wasn't, like Juvenile wasn't good to listen to when I was 12. but stuff like that, they close you away from the world, and when I got into the military, being I was like 22 still, my mom is always cautious of the world, because she sees stuff on TV and she automatically thinks it's going to happen right there in the home. Like, somebody got robbed in California. She's like,
they robbing people. They robbing people everywhere. Everybody is robbing everybody.
Like, Mom, come on. It's not. So when I got in the military, it was a shock to her, because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't tell her fully that I was doing it. I think she thought I was just doing it just to follow somebody. I was really serious about doing it, and I got in. And she was upset with me not telling her, but at the end of the day, she was happy because I was doing something. And then that's when I'm like, all right, Mom, like, you you see now it's not it's a scary place. Yes, the world's scary, but you can understand I can handle myself. You know what I'm saying? Like she was still trying to. Sad to say, she was still trying to keep the umbilical cord, as my brother said. So he said, "I snipped mine." He said, "I snipped that joint." So I mean, and this is me being transparent, like for real. That's how it was. Like still, I would pull away, but it's like she's like, "No, I got to shield you from this too." You know, not saying it out loud, but it was ways of her. Well, I don't think that's a good idea. You know, stuff I used to wear, clothes I used to wear, like that I wear. She's like, I mean, you know, people don't wear that nowadays. I'm like, Mom, you're not seeing what the world is now. Like you're just still in that old head mindset. I'm not gonna say it to my mom. And she never gonna watch this podcast. So, but
by the way, this question is for you, Durante.
Religion. My mom was very religious. My mom was very religious. She I mean, she kept me in church. Shout out to that. I mean, she put me in a boys' home that was Christian based too. So, and getting to the boys' home that helped me out a lot. So that made me see the world also. You know,
it helps you see a lot more.
They took us on they took us on trips. Like we went to like Tennessee for like vacation in the summer. Went to Myrtle Beach. Like I was like, oh, this is what the world is. You know, like I mean, it's being real that as a 15, 16-year-old. That's why I got to the boys' home. It's like kids in my town in South Boston ain't doing like they probably are, but they're not doing stuff like that. Going to Tennessee. We went to Tennessee, then we went up to Six Flags, Maryland one time, went down to Myrtle Beach. That's like every summer trip that we did. So moms will shield you. You know what I'm saying? I grew up without dad, so I don't have no more.
Now, and obviously this doesn't apply. Oh, go ahead, Byron.
You know, that's big what he just said at the end. You know, he grew up without a dad.
So
I mean, that's true. But you know, this is something that's important that I wanted to ask Jamey about, because he asked this question in a video that he posted. And he wanted to know why is it that it's always expected for the kids to go with the mother. I'll let Jamey explain it fully, but he asked this question. I think it's very relevant. So I'll let you take it away, sir.
Yeah. So in any relationship, and especially during a separation or split in marriage, or you know, whatever kind of relationship you're in, it's almost deemed what's going to happen. The child goes with the mother, and the father is deemed financially, supportive. And I think it's backwards. I think it's so backwards in my mindset, because the male should be the breadwinner. Should be. You should be, taking care of your family. Like that's your role from the jump. So from that standpoint, if the man is psychologically stable and financially stable, that's one reason I think the child should be with the father. Two, because now what happens? Now the father is free per se. He's basically a single man again. He's single in his community. But the mother now is with child. So her appeal to her side, it drops down just a little, because okay, well, she got a child already. She got some being with somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just how certain people will look. And so I feel like, that's another knock against the black woman in our community. Oh, she got 2 kids. Oh, she a burden, But for me to have 2 kids, it wouldn't be anything. For me to have 2 kids with me, 2 boys with me, it wouldn't be a knock against me in the community at all. And then, so what happens next? I can go ahead and go start another family somewhere. No big deal. And whereas now there's a female out there with 2 kids. Maybe she's trying to go back to school. Maybe she's trying to better her career. All that is really weighing her down. So it's harder for her to really go and start over. It's really hard for her to go in and accomplish some of the things she could accomplish. I feel like, and if a woman doesn't have her kids, our community think it's the worst thing ever. Oh my God. She don't care about a child. If the woman sends the kids to the man, oh, she don't care about a child. She ain't no real mother. Like, that's crazy. It may just be the best situation. It may just be the best situation that the kids could be in. I can have a stable home. She maybe want to do some things that are, she may have to move around and stuff like that. I just feel like that in our community, we push the kids to the mother, and especially sons, they should be. It should be almost impossible for a father to not to have his son.
Exactly.
Almost impossible. I think the court should say, "Hey, listen, if you got one bedroom and you got food and water, he living with you. You raising him to date. Like that's your job. That's part of what you do." And I just think our whole community mindset is backwards on that deal.
I'm with
It
you.
is. It
I'm
is.
with bro. It's just something about the man, the boy teaching them. I mean, it's just something the boy just can't learn from a mother, man.
And I can say that also, like, growing up, I mean, I had my brother who was older than me, like by 10, 11 years. So he had time to kind of, learn stuff from his dad. He has his dad in his life, and he helped me with some stuff, but it wasn't enough because he went off to college and stuff like that. So I got into a boys' home. It was good to have a actual, couple, and they had their own kids too. But you had that. I finally had a father figure in a way. You know what I'm saying? Even though I switched, like I had one set, then another. I went through 3 sets, but it was always a father figure in the picture.
Yeah.
So I learned stuff, and it is a eye-opening thing when you have a male to teach you certain stuff. You feel me? Like moms can't. I mean, honestly saying that moms can't do certain stuff for you that a man, a dad can.
Yep.
And we have this male dominated society where it's patriarchal and all these things until you get to the kids, and then and I get it, what she's saying is fact. It goes back to being primitive, and you watch, and
it's primitive.
If you look at lions and all these things, but we are not primitive at this point. We've gotten past that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But if you look at animals, the kids are always with mother, especially like I said, my reference of lions. He's the king. He does whatever he wants to do. He can go out here and have multiple prides and do all these things. Have this little harem of lions here, this little harem of lions over here. But you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we've gotten past being primitive at this point. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, that's tough. Like I said,
obviously. Oh, go ahead.
I said it's just one of those situations that our mindset as a community is so, I guess, strung out on what a mother should have to do. You know what I'm saying? It is strung out, and like she has to have the kid. Like if she don't have the kids can't get raised. We have able-bodied, well endowed, mentally structured men that want their kids, and I have to fight legally, financially to gain them, whereas a mother just has them. It's cool.
Yeah, but it's pushed by the courts for that. The courts want the mother.
It is. Wow. And it's not. It's by design. It's not by mistake.
Exactly.
It's not. Oh well, we don't know. We just flip the coin. They go with their mama. It's not. It's not like that. Like it's more thought put into it.
Oh yeah, a lot of our systems are broken, and they've been broken from the beginning, from when people set it up. I mean, things are stacked against women in several different ways, and this is one way that it is. The boys wrote the stuff up. They wanted to run free, so obviously the laws and everything was written by men, mostly white men, and they established all these things and they set it up because they deemed woman with child, men go do what they want to do, so we're gonna do it this way.
Yeah,
that's just how the system was set up. Some dudes and some chalky wigs made this stuff up, and that's just the way it went, and that's the way it's been going. It hasn't been rewritten.
Yeah.
So, and that makes it tough, because I mean, I think if the men were to be with the children, then they would not have so many other children. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing, because they would be busy looking after these children that they got right now, so they wouldn't be out here with Cheryl and Beverly and all these people end up with all these kids.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it would change our community if that narrative changed for a short amount of time, 5 years. For the next 5 years, this is what's going to happen in our community, our society. I guarantee you, it would be a total shock how our boys and young men would have the opportunity to see certain things or make certain changes, or for parents, men, to really see how their son is acting or what he's doing on a daily basis. And for you to feel responsible and accountable, him seeing what you doing every day. Are you going to work? Are you hustling? Are you grinding? Are you making a way? I just think it'd be a great opportunity for our community. And like I said, Kalisha said she thinks it's the minority. I think the minority may start it, but I think we could grow this thing. It's going to take years now, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You do this today, it will turn over the black community. The black community will turn over in this grade. They couldn't understand. They wouldn't.
Yeah, but it could work against you though. Because so while the dad's at work, what the kids doing, So I mean that is something you gotta look at.
What they doing with their mother at work when she working 2 jobs? What the kids doing?
Good point. Good point. Good point.
That's a rebuttal.
Good point.
It's a great rebuttal.
I guess the man, they figure it's more like, hey, if Pop come home and something gonna happen if the place is a wreck or I ain't at home, the mom might be a little pushover. So I do get that point.
So I just truly think that it could be possible, and it's just the system sets it up in such a way that it's not. But it would be a very interesting social experiment to see it flipped on his head. You know what I'm saying? It would be very, very interesting. But and we'll roll into our more serious stuff with our community. I don't know. I'm sure everybody here has had a situation where they've been pulled over by a cop for no apparent reason, like from something hanging from your mirror or something, on your dash or something of that nature. Like, and that's how a young man got killed the other day. And I want to bring y'all an example. Lady said she was going for a taser. A taser weighs about half of this water bottle. Now, her service pistol weighs this whole Gatorade bottle. And you telling me that you can't tell the difference of weight between these two items? By the way, I did this intentionally to have these two different colors because they are not the same color. Their safety is in a different location. Safety's here, safety's here. But yet you were able to take your safety off of here, shoot this man, but you didn't grab your safety from the right location. So I'd like to have that explained. And what's even crazier is that it was also not far from where the trial for Derek Chauvin was taking place for George Floyd's murder. Now,
I didn't know that.
Oh man, yeah, it wasn't far from it. It was in the same area. It's the very same area. Like you pull up a map that's maybe about the size of one of our little windows here that we're talking in. And it's literally the shooting was in the top left, and the trial was taking place down in the bottom right. Crazy situation, man. And literally, like it's this same time of the year. So what's bringing this stuff out of these cops in the spring? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
I think it's a lot can be said about it, and like I said, I'm sure these guys have their own opinion. I think some of it's psychological. I think psychologically, so much is being fed, so much media attention is being fed, so much negativity is being fed into what they may encounter. I think that when the initial sight is seen that they are dealing with the black male, I think their psyche changes immediately. I think they're more tense, more nervous, palms sweaty, and all that. I think that happens immediately. Is it the person that's driving the car's fault? Not at all. He was born black. He didn't wake up that morning and say, I'm gonna pick out black today. That's not what's happening. He
Wesley, I'm gonna wear one of these hats.
Let me wear this. Let me go black. Let me go light. Let me go, light black. You know what I'm saying? Let me go. He's not doing it. He not. But when a cop is going into that mode,
I knew it. My bad. No, I knew it. if you don't take Miss Rose's hat off, boy. All right, I'm done. My bad. My apologies. I know we have a serious conversation.
Oh
I
my
knew it was
God.
coming. I'm sorry. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I'm looking like,
What the
I
hell?
knew it was coming.
Yeah. But I think it's psychological, man. I think it is. I think there are more. It's more energy. It's more nervousness there, and so when the situation happens, their protocol and training is skewed. You know what I'm saying? It's all over the place. You know, it's like they don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to handle being a cop if they say, okay, you're a cop today, go pull somebody over. I wouldn't know where to stand, or how to walk, or how to reach for this, or what I'm gonna be looking at. Because I don't have the training. But these people, this lady been a cop forever. You know what I'm saying? For 30 years of service or something like that. So it's not like she did it before. It just, I don't know. I think it's skewed. If you walk into a room with and they say, hey, you're gonna walk into a room with the dog, and you walk into it and it's a poodle, you're gonna be cool. Like, okay, that's a poodle. Because everything you see about poodles is all cute and nice and sweet, and they gonna play around and sniff you. That's so no big deal. So media portrays certain people as poodles. They can't hurt you. You know what I'm saying? That's the portrayal. But if you walk into a room and say there's a dog in there and it's a pit bull in the room and he don't have a leash on him, like when you walk in, you at arms. You fucking arms because you figure that's what I got to deal with. So I think a lot of it is psychological, a lot of it's media driven. It's something that's, I don't know. I don't know if we have the power to change it at our level. I don't.
But what's interesting is that the cop, because it's their job, should be trained to handle all these people the same way, and that's where the training needs to come from, because they got to stop profiling people of color. Because here's the thing. They may be saying that they got in for dirty tags, dirty registration, but my man made a call to his mother while it was going on. He said they pulled him for an air freshener hanging from his mirror. Now, it hasn't happened to me, but I've heard stories like this. They pulled you over for your GPS. They pulled you over for your air freshener hanging. And then they probably discovered, oh, his stuff is dirty. His registration is dirty. And then they figured out he had an arrest warrant and all these things.
Yeah.
But initially, the initial profiling is what got it.
Yep.
And that's what has to change. They got to stop profiling people for just the reason. If you're gonna pull this black man over for his stuff hanging from his mirror, then you need to pull over Susan with her dream catcher hanging from her mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep everything on the same accord. And if you do that, then one, you'll stop people from hanging stuff in their mirror. But two, people will know, and they'll just know what's gonna happen.
Let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
Would this be okay? So let's say you live on a 50% white and black neighborhood. Let's say it's a 70-30 neighborhood, 70% white, 30% black.
Mm-hmm.
The pullover rate should equate to that at the end of the day. You should be pulling over, 7 Caucasians to every 3 African Americans. That's what should happen. But predominantly, that's not what happens. We are stopping at an alarming rate. And I guarantee you, I've lived in neighborhoods where it is predominantly white. Ain't no roadblocks. They know these folks drinking and driving. They know these folks ain't paid. They know they tags is out. They know that, but they not gonna stop. That's cool. They say you know about your business. You ain't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? But if you stop us at the same rate, I guarantee you that they will have just as many tags out, just as many things going on as we could. We have it. Yeah, we got tags out. Yeah, we got speed tickets. Yeah, we got warrants for arrest. But once the profiling is such a high rate, you're going to find more because you are looking for more.
Definitely. Let me ask you this, Jamey, because I got this is a question, because I know this is a thing in Virginia, but I don't know if it's a thing down in Mississippi. Do y'all have people down there that use farm tags like as they regular everyday tags?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so I don't. Down in Virginia, we have people that use these tags called farm use tags. You can literally get it from the tractor supply, and you can put them on your vehicle. You don't have to, pay anything. Then you don't have to pay like registration, any of that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and for the most part, I will say,
Jamie think about moving up here. I'm sorry.
What?
He said,
Don't do that.
What is that?
I can at least get one car away with, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
But the thing about that is that it's mostly Caucasian folks that do this. Now there are rules behind this.
Yeah.
It states that the vehicle is supposed to be used on the farm, be farm equipment, not travel certain distances. Man, you see this stuff on like 2015 trucks and brand new things that are like miles away from any type of farm. Never been on a farm.
Ain't got no grass on the car.
Never seen a speck of grass. But they don't get pulled over.
Yeah.
Now supposedly Virginia's changing the law and they're gonna start pulling more people over for it.
No. Because you know what? Because when they see that, they say, you know what? He's smart. That's what the consensus is. He's smart. He've avoided that tag. He's avoided a call. I have no problem with that man. I'm telling you what the psychological thing is. That guy's got around the tag system. It's good for him. I'm telling you.
I believe you, man. And Mike just said it here. He said he seen a farm tag on a Volkswagen Bug. He's asked, "What cattle we feeding with that?" I'd love to know too, Mike, because I don't know any. But for the most part, within our community, we get pulled over for these little things, and yes, sometimes things get discovered.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I don't care if you like haven't had your car registered in 10 years. There's no reason that you get pulled over that you then are dead.
Agreed.
We had a dude steal an ambulance today. I don't know why people are living out GTA fantasies in real life. I don't know why. But a dude stole an ambulance and was ripping it down in the sticks at 120. But yet he was apprehended just fine. And
yeah.
I don't know the race of the man, but based on the description of things going on, I'm gonna assume because he's alive.
I hate this dude.
But he had a drug overdose, and they gave him the was it Nican or whatever to bring him back from being out of it. Yeah. They gave him that in the back of the ambulance. He freaked out and stole the ambulance and had him on the chase for like 56 minutes. Like I said, ripping down the country roads at 120. Just had the ambulance in the wind. And once again, I don't know what his race is, but I can take a guess. Because like I said, he's alive. Ambulance was out in the grass and in the dirt, but he's alive. So it's crazy. And then you got the situation. I'm sure all y'all heard about the situation that happened in South Carolina with Jonathan Pentland and where he harassed that little black kid.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, I see it off
Army guy.
Yeah, that one.
Now with YouTube having military experience, I don't know if you do, Jamie, but Byron and Durante have military experience. This dude was a sergeant first class, and from what I've seen, he lived in a neighborhood that actually has a lot of people of color in it. But he harassed this kid, wanted to know where he lived at, and based on the neighbors' reports, dude is a quiet dude. He minds his business. He doesn't do a lot of talking. So I guess he's frightened by this big tall dude rolling up on him and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to give out his information, and he didn't give out his information. And my man was pushing on him, yelling at him, trying to intimidate my man. And he ended up, because it went on social media and went viral. He ended up being charged with a third-degree assault, and he got suspended from his instructor duties in the military. But it just should have never got there. Now, Byron, Durante, which y'all haven't served with these people that like to yell for no apparent reason. What are your thoughts about that situation?
I'm only laughing just the way you said it, like yeah, for no reason. It just brought back basic flashbacks. Hold on, give
I
me a
think
second.
dude had a power struggle.
You say you think he had a power trip?
Yeah, man, he had a power trip, and plus he was black because the guy was black, so he felt a little threatening of him being in the neighborhood. I mean, let's just be honest with it, man. And we
But
ain't
here's the
sugarcoat
thing,
it no
though.
more.
That's dude's
It was just
neighborhood
a
too.
black
He
kid in the
lived there.
neighborhood. Yeah, but he said he never seen him before, so he felt like
Yeah,
he
he
was
said that.
intruding his neighborhood.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said that. He
his
said he knew
neighborhood,
everybody in the neighborhood.
a tight niche neighborhood. Just let him say it.
That's
Yeah.
that's what he
So
said.
I
But
was
I
like,
guess he figured out how
power
tight
trip.
niche it was
Yeah.
with all them black folks outside his house that he had to get taken out of.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy.
That was
Yeah,
terrible.
I
like
saw something
literally. Oh, go ahead.
Bro,
with
this
that
is another
case.
episode, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I saw something with that case. I didn't know. The guy said, okay, he lives in the neighborhood and all that. I saw a lawyer come on, just talking about the case. He said that it is not illegal to walk in any neighborhood if you live there or not.
Right.
Like, let's say you choose to go walk in the most predominant neighborhood you want to. According to the law, if you are on the sidewalk, you are on public property. You are on
Exactly.
the city or county property that no one can ask you to leave that neighborhood legally. Like, I didn't know that. I know you have HOA rules and different rules in neighborhoods and cities and stuff like that, but I guess it never really crossed my mind that you saw somebody walking in your neighborhood. I go walking all the time, but I leave my cul-de-sac and neighborhood and venture into other neighborhoods. Just walking. They're all just kind of patched together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that is not illegal. No one can ask you to leave a certain area if you're just walking by. It kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, but it is
No, but
dangerous.
see, oh,
I'm not saying it's not dangerous now. I'm not saying it's not dangerous. I'm not here to test it. I'm not big
it's
dog.
dangerous.
I'm not here to test. I'm not here to test the law.
I will say this:
dangerous.
having worked in telecommunications, and Byron, you working with electricity and whatnot, we know right away laws. Like there are laws that state that companies can dig into a certain location as long as it's in the right of way.
Yeah,
that same thing applies to you walking. You minding your business, walking up a sidewalk. You are okay to be there. You're not bothering anybody. You're not causing a scene. The only time that the cops can legally be called is if you are causing a scene, you're publicly intoxicated or something of that nature. If you're just walking, walk on. But obviously, with us being people of color, we have to walk with our guard up. It shouldn't be that way, but that's the thing.
The most frightening thing the most frightening thing
Yeah,
the
the
last
next question
5 years.
Oh, go ahead, Jamie. What were you gonna say?
Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying the most frightening thing the last 5 years of all this was being caught on camera is what hasn't been caught on film the last 15 years. Mm-hmm. Like that's the most frightening thing. Exactly. We think this is at its height. We think that this stuff is at its height right now. Now, can you imagine? Can you just imagine what happened? The past 15 to 20 years. No police cameras, no visual, no internet, no, stories getting out from city to city. That's the only difference. The only difference is that things are being captured and played back. That's the only difference. It didn't start in 2017, 2014, this stuff. It just started being revealed to us. And it feels like it's at an alarming rate. But I would dare say that it has really gone down. It has really been suppressed. Not saying that it's not at an alarming rate to us because we see it every day. But can you imagine what was going on in 1990 with police stops, with no police cameras and no, no video playback, no your word against mine. See, that's
Rodney King.
Scary. That's what's beyond scary to me.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Like, I think the first time that it was really, really on the scene was probably the Rodney King situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that footage that we saw the first time, at least I know about it because I was born in the 90s. But I imagine. Let's go back even further though. Let's go back to like the 50s, 60s.
70s. Oh yeah.
Man, like where they legally could sick dogs on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it was just fine. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's how we gonna break up these rides. We're gonna sick these dogs on you like they did back in the slave time when you was running away from the plantation. Same dogs, just a different case.
Yep.
So it's wild that some things are legal. But imagine if the internet existed. Imagine if we had the technology that we have now for the things that were going down in the civil rights movement and before that. The things that you would see, like imagine if they actually had store cameras in the store that Emmett Till went into, so they can prove what he actually said to that lady that caused him for them dudes to roll up on him and literally admit that they killed him, but yet nothing really happened to him. Like it's crazy. It's wild. It's wild. Hey, but Durante, you were gonna say something about drill sergeant. What were you gonna say? Because we kind of went away from that.
Yeah, I had flashbacks. It's all good. Yeah, that like Byron said, it's like it's just being real. Once we get power, it's like, oh, let me use it. I can use it anytime I want. No, not really. Especially this day and age, you can't really use that outside
at that point, he's a citizen. Number one.
Well, yeah.
Bro, that don't mean nothing.
He's not. He's.
They think,
huh?
Bro, those cats think that should apply everywhere. At the grocery store.
Facts.
At the mall.
When I first got in, I walked out of the store. Me and two of my dudes walked out of the store, after hours. But I didn't think I forgot to reach for my hat. I had just got in. I'm still like, got the jitters and stuff. That was my first, probably like second weekend. But anyway, somebody was like, "Hey, headgear." I was like, "What the heck going on?" I thought it was the Lord. I said, "God, what? Huh? What I do?" And then some random, he was like, headgear. I'm like, oh, he must be in. But he was in street clothes. It's like, hey, bro, appreciate you looking out, but don't yell at me like that. I have flashback. But yeah, they do that. And yeah, they do that. They do that.
So you was off base.
That was off base. We were at Target. We was coming out of Target. Off base. I hear across the parking lot. Somebody was like, hey, what the heck you on? I ain't got the store good. But they reaching for it. I ain't thinking about it. Sometimes you just be in the mode, like, I'm ready to go, about to do this, we're talking. And I was like, oh, my fault. And, headgear on, but I was like, wait a minute, who was that? Just some random, I don't know what rank they were, you don't know, but all you hear is just headgear, and you automatically flinch because you just think it's a drill sergeant, or like a higher up, because you're like, oh snap, my bad, whoever was, like, sir, sorry, whatever. Yeah, it happens. By know what I'm talking about, yeah. They be out of civilians and they just be lagging.
Yo, it don't matter though, man. At the end of the day, literally, my man was minding his business, walking in the neighborhood, and he should have been able to do that regardless. And that's the stuff that got to change. But I guarantee you, my man ain't gonna harass another black man anytime soon. I don't know if he's gonna be able to go back to his house anytime soon.
They wild.
I'm gonna be honest.
Front lawn, they wild. It's a whole family reunion out there, Doc.
Yeah, they having a whole cookout and everything. Yeah. It's wild. I'm sure at this point they hooked up some ribs, got some burgers, and everything. Probably had a little fish fry at this point. But I'm cool with them doing all that. But I think some people have damaged the property. I don't know about that. They got to chill on that. But everything else, hey, y'all stand strong. I don't know what man gonna stay at now, but he gonna move. He gonna have to move.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, different neighborhood for sure.
I mean, but it's just too much of this, man. It's just we in 2021, but it's like we literally are in like the early 70s, maybe early 70s, like
with cameras.
Yeah, like we got to stop with all this random racial stuff that's going on. We got to stop hating on these Asian folks. I don't understand that either. Huh?
Hey, Wes, the guy moved, the hate moved with him.
Oh, you said if he moved, the hate moved with him?
Moves, but his hate moved with him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
It never gets better, bro.
Yeah, it needs to, man.
To do the same thing.
Yeah, you're right. But it needs to, man. It really needs to. We need change. Like that's what we need to find. We need to find change. And I don't know weird starts, but we got to find it. We can't break the stereotype of them thinking that all black men are thugs. We can't break that, even though we show that we dress in what they find acceptable. We have good jobs, we have money. It don't matter. At the end of the day, if you move into a predominantly white neighborhood in a nice house, they gonna ask you what you doing there. Even though you got the keys to the house, you can show them the deed with your name on it, show them your license as well. And yet, I don't understand how we are still deemed the thug of the neighborhood. I don't get it. Like literally, you can roll up with a Maybach, and they're gonna ask you, "Oh, so you one of them rappers? You an athlete?" Yet you could have your own Fortune 500 company. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? They
Bro,
don't know what
that's all
you
they
do,
see though.
huh? What'd you say, Byron?
The guys, that's all they see though.
I don't know what's up with your leg, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, he's been lagging bad for the last like 10 minutes, and we just like ain't happening, but cool.
We've been having a conversation, so it you know what I'm saying, it's just conversation. He come in when he need to.
Like for instance, he's froze now. There we go.
All right, well, I'm gonna keep talking. Byron, leave and rejoin real quick. Just leave and rejoin real quick. But yeah, just we have to change this, man. Like we could be on the golf course and we would be deemed the caddy, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be deemed the golfer. It's just unnecessary. Now, granted,
yeah.
You know, sometimes we can be on the golf course cutting up. Cause you know, some black folks gonna have a good time no matter where they are.
Yep.
And that's just a thing.
Where's Mike?
But that's just
I said, where's Mike at?
First of all, I don't know what Mike was doing in his little twerking session or whatever he was having in front of your car.
Hey, yo, last night, all right. So, I tell you this story, that shit was funny, bro. Everybody was on my staff was like, yo, who in the world? I said, this is what we do, man. We be bored. We gotta give entertainment to people, yeah.
I don't know what y'all be doing, man. Y'all be wild. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, Jamey, man, what do you think we need to do to try to break this? I don't think we can, but what do you think?
It has to start within, man. It has to start. Some of the things that we do in our community, I don't think it happens outside of our community. I think a lot of crime we use it as entertainment. You know what I'm saying? A fight happens, it's viral. A fight happens, 1 million people recording it. You know, and it's used as entertainment. It's passed as entertainment, and we are seen by ourselves and others, you know, more as, you know, more savagery. You know, it is what we do. When you look like this is some things that you do. And it's not the case. You know, those are isolated incidents. I say it, you know, I'm here in Jackson, Mississippi, and one of the things we talk about here is the murder rate. You know, we in a big city, you know, they talk about the murder rate and stuff like that. Well, you need more police. If I have an argument with somebody in my own house, what is the police gonna do? I mean, the incident is going to happen. If we know each other and we're in the same place, altercations happen that way. More police is not going to. They're not going to stop, you know, those type of incidents. People aren't out here murdering or killing people they don't know. That's a problem. If somebody kills somebody they don't know, that's a huge problem. These are things where people have poor communication. They are doing back and forth. Communication is out of whack, and that's when incidents happen a lot. So that's why, like I said, you know, one of the tools that we're trying to do now is just to improve our communication, be able to talk to somebody. Back in the day, if you knew somebody didn't like you, there was a way to handle it. You went to them, or you went around them, or you made friends with somebody they was friends with to kind of get in good. Like, you had to handle that situation. If you had somebody coming down the hall that didn't like you, you had to handle that. It was a way you had to handle that situation. But see, now I really fear for people, kids coming through 19, 11th grade now with COVID and virtual learning, you thought that we have a problem with communication. You think we have a problem with communication. We are raising some people that cannot have a face-to-face conversation. They cannot have it. They cannot have a face-to-face conversation. Back in the day, if one girl didn't like another girl on break time, or she walk up to that girl, you said something about me. You know, talk to me. I thought you said you didn't like my shoes or whatever. Not that that's right, but that conversation was out public, handling, and then when they dispersed, it was normally over with. It was normally wouldn't happen anymore. But now you have people cyberbullying and messaging. Everything is on the internet. So somebody can bully you for 5 years. You know, they can literally be in your face, be in your space as much as they want to, as much as you allow them on a public platform. And you think we have, our older generation got a problem with communication. If we don't get a grasp on this younger generation now that's head in the iPad 24/7, head on YouTube 24/7, virtual learning 24/7, what happens? What's going to happen when they have to have face-to-face conversations that are uncomfortable for everybody? Like, it's a scary thought.
Let me tell you something.
It's scary, bro. Oh man,
one of the craziest
stuff. Everybody. He is scaring parents, bro. I'm like, oh man, we play this back. You gonna be scared, like, oh man, got a point. I'm like, coming with it today, man. I'm like, I agree with that wholly, bro. Because kids do not know how to communicate.
No,
they know iPad, they know the Roblox, they know Fortnite, they know GTA. That's what they know. They don't know nothing else about nothing else. Like just talking to people, just having a conversation. Like I never really see kids. Like you don't see them in the parks talking, having a good time, playing basketball no more.
Nope.
You rarely see. Like on Sundays, the park used to be filled. Now, man, you go to the park, it's probably about 10 people there.
Listen. When you put yourself in those situations, you learn how to govern yourself better. I've been in places to where when I'm at home, I can be a little loud on the court. I can talk a little more stuff on the court.
Yeah.
I'm at home, you know what I'm saying? Now, when you on the road, you 30 miles away, you 2 hours away playing ball, like you knew you could be yourself. Now, we ain't saying you got to bag down, but you knew to stay in the lane. Like, hey, I'm out of town. I'm not where I'm supposed to be right now. Hey, we good, big dog. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You learn that. You learn that because you having that face-to-face. Hey, let me check my surroundings. Man, my kids be oblivious to stuff. Like, so oblivious to stuff, like common sense stuff. Like, hey, check your surroundings. Do people got their windows down? Like, where are you? How many people on the aisle? Have you seen this person pass you 2 or 3 times? Like stuff like that. It's just a different age. And I tell you, the internet it's a scary place. And where you can make mistakes today and they be around for the next 50 years. You can make one mistake. Oh, yeah. You can say something to somebody, it get recorded. You could do something while under the influence, having fun. Hey, I did it. It was a joke. Man, you trying to run for the next position in your company or try to apply for $1 million grant. Say, hey, well, we got you out here doing this. We got you out here, having too much fun. We don't trust you. 15 years ago, man. I thank God we didn't have no cameras when I was coming up. My God. My God. Man, I'm telling you.
I'll tell you something else that this internet thing is doing. It's helping some of these little young kids of other races become racist. Mm-hmm. Like I mean, let them on a video game. All of a sudden, you hear N-word this and N-word that. They talking to you.
You better not play no Call of Duty.
Oh man.
You better not kill nobody in Call of Duty, man. When they hear your voice, oh my God, they know.
Oh man, Durante, what you about to say?
I can't go a night without somebody saying that, and it's adorable because it's like you won't ever say this to somebody's face. You won't.
That's the crazy thing.
Me and my homeboy dropped addresses like Lynchburg, Virginia. I can get my real address right here, but I was mad. I was like, Lynchburg, Virginia. Come holler at me.
Pull up.
I
got something for you.
I got something for you. Come holler at me. But no, like it's sad that social media makes people do this. And it just goes to show like how afraid of the world people. No, I ain't gonna say that. How people carry social media and they're like, you know what, I can say this, this, and this, and you'll never see me. And you think you're doing something, it's just making you look stupid because you just wasting your breath. I really could care less about you saying a word to me. That might be get ugly, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's childish. But yeah, call me.
Sometimes these internet bullies take it too far, man. I was seeing a story about these YouTube people that got their own little drama going on, but apparently, dude gave out my man's address and had somebody trying to fake break into his house, maybe even really break into his house over some internet beef. Man, these people are wild.
Yeah,
they got to chill on this internet stuff. But you know, that's what we in right now. We just gotta be sure to guard the people that we know are involved in all this and make sure that they safe and they not cutting up on the internet and participate in the foolishness. I think that's gonna be our best bet to do that. But with all that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching us today. Please feel free to share the show wherever you are watching or listening. If you listen on Google, Amazon, all these other places that we are, everywhere you get podcasts, feel free to share it. Of course, the YouTube and the Facebook. Durante, you okay?
Yeah, I'm laughing. I'm laughing.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
What you got to say, boss?
Nothing.
What you got to say, man? Say it.
Nothing. It's not y'all. It's y'all, but it's not y'all.
Hold on, what?
You don't know how like I think fast about like roast and stuff. It just stuff keep coming to me like that.
All right, Roast King. Anyway, like I was saying, I appreciate everybody for watching this week's episode. Byron?
All right, guys, man. Y'all be easy, man. Take it easy.
Durante?
No, wait. Byron missing one.
Oh, and if you don't know the way, you in the way.
There we go. God, man. You got to keep him on
I was
toes.
waiting on you to say like, oh, hold on. It don't feel right.
Yeah, I was like,
where you at? Where you at with it?
Where is he at?
Where is he at?
There's Durante. Appreciate y'all joining us. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and wash your, And I just want to thank our special guest, Joe Budden. Jamey, Jamey for coming on the show. That's what was going through my head. I hate to get it out. All right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. All right, I'm done. I'm through. I'm done.
You know what? I felt that coming. I really feel.
I was like, who's he close to? Yo, it's 3 other people that you close to, but I was like, nah, that one might be funny.
Jamie, what you got?
I can deal with it, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate meeting some great guys doing some great things, man. Whatever y'all into, man. I'll be checking out your Big Dogs Only. Here for the podcast, and whatever you into. Just in case he didn't know, just in case you needed to see that you weren't on earlier, but just letting you know who I walk out Washington. I rock with Washington. That's FYI.
That's for you, Durante.
Yeah, that's for you.
Who was that?
He can't see. He can't see now. You need glasses.
He didn't tell you that he bumped his head when he jumped, right?
You know what? I seen you.
What's that? R stand for redneck?
Wow, God,
wow, terrible, man.
I know. You know what? I did see you in Washington. You was broadcasting the live game, Drew Gooden. So
get the dude off, man. I'm gonna mute you, man.
Hey, but y'all check my man's out. He got his own apparel line to go with his Hello Black Man. Y'all check him out.
I want a hoodie for real, like that serious. I will.
But listen, man, listen. Jump on, man. Get you one. And like I said, I tell y'all got a great group of guys already, man. It would be amazing for you all to go through life and only talk about sports and just work and stuff like that. It's so much more to a person. A lot of this stuff you talk about is just kind of what you do. It's not really who you are. So if you got significant others, you got kids, you got parents, man, them having a journal and you having a journal could be a great conversation piece. You will really have something to talk about, not just how your day, what you cook. Okay, I'm tired. That's kind of what normally happens. But with this, you could really have a real conversation. I've learned some things about my mom and my dad these last 2 years that I had no clue about before. So it's just an opportunity, man. I appreciate being on. Drew Gooden and Joe Budden, we're here. So I'm glad to be on.
Hey man, y'all check my man. Hold on. What you about to say?
I said we're gonna call him Drew Button. We're gonna call him Drew Button.
Hey, y'all be sure to check my man out. Y'all see what it is. HelloBlackMan.com. Hey, Jamey, anytime you want to come on the show, kick it with us, just let me know.
No doubt.
Hit me up. We'll have you on for sure. We
appreciate you. Man, y'all got the people in the. I'm finna get off this show, man. I'm through with y'all, bro.
Mike.
That's
here, man. It had to be Mike. I know it was Mike. It had to be Mike.
Oh yeah, that's Mike. He a whole fool, man. You'll get if you come back again, man. Like I said, feel free. You'll get educated on Mike. He's a whole fool, man.
That's what we do. We won't play no games. With a roast. We play no games. We Libras, so we always come in that shit.
It's all good, man.
Also, one other thing before we get out of here, be sure to check out Big Dogs Only. Even though Byron been lagging for half the show, I don't know why. His internet is on hot garbage. He needs to fix that, but that's not here nor there. We love him all the same, so y'all be sure to check him out as well. He got the Big Dogs Only collection. Hats improving all the time, so and the collection is growing as well. So y'all be sure to check my man's out. And with all that being said, this has been the Experts About Nothing podcast. Byron disappeared, and we out.